Hi,
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Mia, Milena, Yole, and Mora of We Teach You.
And today we are going to talk about
The proletariat.
The proletariat. What is the proletariat?
The proletariat is the working class that didn't own any benefit about the production and distribution media.
yeah, and they were completely obligated to stay in the workforce in exchange for a miserable salary.
The proletariat is what represents generally with work.
Exist two types of proletariat. The urban relate to the industrial activities and the rural that dedicate to the agriculture work.
I had no idea, but I still have doubts.
And we solved them all.
What I'm going to say is very important. We're only going to talk about the prolet of the late 19th century.
Wait, was the proletariat a consequence of the Industrial Revolution?
Exactly.
And that makes me ask, what was the consequence after the Industrial Revolution to the proletariat?
You can imagine there was employment because with the recently machinery of the 19th century, the proletariat were necessary, and the proletariat's family weren't having a sustainability economy up to go with the delinquency way, and they start to break the machines because they blame it for all. When more family did that, the crime go higher and higher. That success is the Luddism. The working class made organizations called trade unions that was syndicates to defend their rights.
Oh my god, what a horrible life condition they had.
Yes, it's frightful and data labor exploitation.
Melina, tell us more about the labor exploitation and the proletariat life's condition.
Anyone who knows the proletariat living and working conditions can say that there was completely awful. The proletariat went doing farmer work to with lucky work in a dirty, dark, damp, poorly ventilated and noisy factory. These conditions were caused by the vapor machines and the poor boss preoccupation about his employees. In these not healthy and dangerous factories, it was usual to the proletariat work about 12 to 14 hours daily, including Saturdays with a completely journal on Sundays until tapping day.
Whoa, that is a lot of hours.
Yes, basically, they didn't take a break. Even the children's situation was the same.
Really?
Yes, from the year 1870, the government children work expanded. A lot of children started to work in factories and receive a lower pay. They were used to jobs that required little hands or short stature. The infantile work was one of the darkest aspects of the Industrial Revolution. The working condition was inhuman. They worked much time as an adult, 14 to 16 hours daily. The condition of the factory was nothing healthy to the infant growth, and they were physically castigated.
Actually, most of the nowadays human rights didn't exist in that days.
The nowadays human right that didn't fulfill in the 18th century, it's the right of the integrity and self-security to access to justice, education, health, work, and right of children and adolescents, the freedom of work, profession, industry, or commerce, and the freedom of expression.
Aileen and Jean asked if there was so many human risks and fulfilled the product complaint it, were doing claims, or were they making syndicates? Good question. From the 19th century, the proletariat started to collaborate one to each other to cover their main needs. That's how the syndicates appeared to affront the horrible living and working condition. The history about the syndicate movement is related to capitalism.
Thanks, Yale.
Girls, I have a recently very important doubt. We were talking about the work and life condition of the proletariat, but how were the proletariat houses?
The worker neighborhood have been building near the factory on the outskirts of the towns. Normally, the project house was small and which lit ventilation of sanitary equipment. Also, a lot of the proletariat family of the share a dwelling.
I hope after this we value much more our life condition.
The last question of the day. It's from Marcos82. Hi Marcos. He asked, what type of activity did the workers?
You can separate the proletariat in three groups. The one who were of the manufacturing industry and their number didn't stop grow, that with their low qualification it becomes easily interchangeable in their different production tasks. The other group were the ones who worked in the service area. In this group it was more common to see children and women working than to see male adults working. And the last group were the ones who worked in the old craft trades. In decline with respect to modern industry, shoemakers, tailors, blacksmiths, etc., often the most specialized and trained workers who from the ranks appeared the first work protests and demands. With that, we end today's program.
Bye bye!